Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all to our table discussion on the basis of burning matter, the fascism as a tragedy. When we discuss on this matter, we have three special guests. One of them, a special writer of Kerala, Mr. Arif Wayanad. Warmly welcome. Take your seat. And second one, we have to welcome the most famous public speaker in Kerala, Mr. Fazil Punnayur. Warmly welcome. Your seat. And last one of them, the famous social worker, Mr. Salahuddin Kodumadi. Please take your seat. Then we have to enter to our discussion. Firstly, when we discuss on the basis of the matter, fascism, we know that the fascism is seemed and appeared in and formed in Italy amidst the First World War in 1930, destroying the unity between the people and distracting the society. But their arguments were that they will develop the world and they will protect the poor. Am I right? Then Mr. Arif, how the Indian fascism is related with the fascism which is formed in Italy? What have you to say about it?
Yes. When we describe on the basis of the fascism and the fascism which formed in Italy, we can find out that the aims, implement and the activities of Indian fascism also related with their aims and their activities. The first form of fascism and Indian fascism are very closely same.
Yes, Mr. Arif proved that the Indian fascism is same one of the fascism which is formed in Italy at first. Then we have to turn to discussion about the Indian fascism. Am I right? Yes. So Mr. Hafiz, he is most famous writer. So many books are appeared amidst the world by his hand. Barakallahu. Mr. Fazil, he proved the Indian fascism is same one of the fascism is formed in Italy. Then now we can see so many injusticeful activities in Indian fascism in administration of Indian government. I think the most one of them is the sheltering of the convicts and the criminals and punishing the innocents. So what have you to about that matter? Do you agree with me?
Yes, of course, Mr. Fazil, I am really agreeing with you. The fascist government, they are really protecting and giving shelter to the culprits and criminals of the society. And they are avoiding and pursuing the other classes and the innocents from the society. As you all know, As we all know that in German, it was such a case that Hitler has dominated Nazism and has brutally killed many Jews without any reason. It is showing injustice to the Jews present at the time. As in the case of India, we have seen the headline of the Madhurabhumi newspaper reported in 2018 February. The government job is offered by the Indian government itself for the killers of Muhammad Akhlaq, a man among the Martyrs who have been brutally killed by the fascists on the account of cow issue. So, and there are many other examples that the massive attacks that happened in the Gujarat and that have been the black hands done by the same fascists, and they are being the ruling government at that time. So we can see in several matters that the government is showing several injustice things as in the form of fascism.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Haripad. Then, Mr. Salahuddin, he said that so many injusticeful activities are implemented in India by the Indian government. So I have to ask you, what is the Muslim situation in India? Aren't they crowded and oppressed by the Indian government now?
Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. The major aim of fascism is implementing the Hinduism in India. They try to implement the uniform civil code in India. It cites the injustice against Muslims. The Talaq ordinance is proclaimed targeting Muslims. And the cattle slaughter is also example for the injustice against Muslims.
Mr. Salahuddin, how can I agree with you? How can I agree with you? Because the Talaq ordinance and the cow issue are related to Indian court. Indian government is another thing. Indian court is another thing. Mr. Hafil, do you agree with his statement about this matter? What do you have to say about it?
That I am agreeing that he is very correct. As we all know, the Indian government and the court are differently separate and are two different sections. The fascists use their dark hand to trespass the area applied in the government and the court session. The fascists, as we all know that the Indian government is, and the court is recruited. That means the judges of the court are recruited by a special community. That is called as collegium. And in this collegium, the fascism are using their hand to involve the peoples that will support them. So we can understand that the government is using their peoples to support them in the court.
Yes, we can understand from this discussion the fascism is implementing their own discrimination and the injusticeful activities in India. Thank you for our guests. We are concluded by our discussion. Thank you for all.